Another sport gets underway on day 6 of the 33rd Olympiad, and that is men's golf. Some of the best golfers in the world will be competing at the site of the 2018 Ryder Cup. It's called Le Golf National in Paris from August 1st to August 4th. So let's preview the tournament with a golf enthusiast. He's also the host of Ask the Experts with Curran Bhatia. It's my guy. Curran Bhatia joins me now. What's going on, man?
Dexter, what's going on, man? We got the Olympics. Everyone's enjoying it. And, of course, Olympic golf. It's back now. This is now the third year in a row that the Olympics still have golf, which is great. This is what we want. So it's an exciting time.
I know, you being the golf enthusiast, you're excited about this to see who can go get the gold in men's golf. So let's start, Curran, with this. Where the golfers are going to play. Can you describe the unique features of Le Golf National, the host course for the Olympic golf tournament, and how might the layout influence the play that we see here this weekend?
Absolutely. Le Golf National, this is in Paris. This is actually southwest of central Paris. And like you said, Dexter, this was the site of the 2018 Ryder Cup. Now, things have changed actually since then in this course. In 2018 Ryder Cup, it was 7,300 yards. Now it's been shortened to 7,100 yards. So now you would say, hey, wait a minute, that seems a little easier. Actually, that makes tougher landing spots. And what that means is the course is tighter, so you must hit the fairway. So I can't stress this enough about Le Golf National. Accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. We're talking about mounds. It's very hilly. It's also a little wet this week, so that's something that players have to contend with. So this is a very difficult golf course, but the biggest key for a lot of players is going to be accuracy. Get this ball into the fairway and advance it from there. And it's going to reward players who are more accurate. It's not going to be as advantageous to players who can bomb it, because that's going to be less important this time around. It's very hilly, like I said. Actually, when they were constructing this, Dexter, they brought in 300 truckloads of dirt for 3 years to create Le Golf National. So that just gives you an idea of what they had to do to create this golf course.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing here. So for anybody who played at the 2018 Ryder Cup, dimensions a little bit different. This plays more to accuracy. We'll see how that all works out for the golfers. Now, with the Olympics, the format, folks, isn't the same as what most golf fans are used to. So, Curran, could you explain the format of golf competition at this year's Olympics and how it might differ from regular tour events?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is different because this is Olympic golf. Now, some things are the same, some things are different. One thing that's different is there's going to be no cut this time around. So there's going to be 60 players in the field. No one gets cut. In a normal PGA Tour event, halfway through, we're going to have a cut. So 120 players total, 60 in men's, 60 in women's. This is based on the International Golf Federation rankings, the top 15 players worldwide with a limit of 4 per country, and then countries onward from there on. There's country limits. So you can only have a certain amount of people from different countries. So that's the way it all comes together. Now, one thing is, we actually had Olympic golf in Paris in 1900. So you have to go all the way back there. Then there was one more Olympics for golf, and then there was a 116-year absence. Yeah. Now it's back. This is the 3rd year in a row that we have Olympic golf. So we're happy that it's back, and we're happy that it's taking place in Paris, that it can be part of these festivities. So 72 holes, it's individual stroke play, so that's more on a little bit on the normal. Here's one thing that's a little different. So in a PGA Tour event or any other event in golf, right, we know that there's ties. You could tie for 2nd or 3rd. In this case, there's medals at stake. So you're not going to tie for the silver medal or the bronze medal. So there's going to be a playoff, and that actually happened last time around in Tokyo. There was a playoff for the bronze medal. So there's not going to be ties in those top spots because we know that people want a medal. So those are some of the things that are a little different this year. Now, actually looking ahead a little bit to 2028 in LA, there's discussions about adding a team format. So because you want to represent your country, right? So right now it's individual format, and you are obviously representing your country, but there's discussions for 2028 in LA to have a team format.
It's going to be interesting to see about that team format and if that happens with the 2028 games in Los Angeles. Now, look, American golf fans, they got to feel good about Xander Schauffele because his form coming into Olympic play. He won gold in Tokyo, the Tokyo Games, and at the last Summer Games that we saw there, and he's the reigning winner of the PGA Championship and the Open Championship. Is Schauffele the favorite to win a gold medal at the Games, or are you going with another golfer here?
Xander Schauffele is my favorite to win the gold here at the 2024 Olympics. Now, you're going to say, well, we always say in golf, what have you done for me lately? Well, Xander just won the British Open. He's been red hot. He actually has been has great momentum. And like we said, golf is about what have you done for me lately, because golf is physical, so you got to get your swing in order, but also mental, right? There was a famous quote, Dexter, by Bobby Jones. He said, golf is a game that is played on a 5-inch course between the ears, right? It's all a mental game. And so obviously Xander's in a very good place mentally. Now, in terms of the betting odds, in terms of who's a favorite, well, we got to look at the #1 player in the world. That is Scottie Scheffler. Yep. Scottie Scheffler is always going to be a big favorite because of what he's done in the game of golf. He's had a good year as well. The other player that we have to talk about, and I know me and you have spoken about him, Dexter, Rory McIlroy. Now, we know how close he was at the U.S. Open. We talked about the choke there on 16 and 18 in terms of those short putts that he missed. Rory actually missed the cut at the British Open. So the momentum not necessarily there, but one thing I think that could play into his hands is the redemption arc here, and this opportunity, knowing what it means for Rory to represent his country of Ireland in the Olympics. We know that that's going to be on his mind. So I actually think Rory may have his impact known. He actually was in a playoff for bronze at the 2020, which became 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. So he's had success at the Olympics before. And so I think because of what happened to him earlier this year, I think Rory McIlroy is actually going to have a good showing.
He could use a little bit of redemption,
yes,
for sure, and
exactly.
wouldn't mind doing it with a gold medal here. Now, at these games, we could see a bit of history here because two golfers, they've got the chance to go for the major medal double, which is, to explain for folks, to win a major championship and a gold medal in the same year. Now, Curran, that feat has never been accomplished before, but Xander Schauffele and Scottie Scheffler both have a chance to get it done. Do you think either golfer completes the major medal double? Do we see that happen here at this Olympics?
Absolutely. The major medal double is very possible at this Olympics. And of course, we're talking about Xander Schauffele and Scottie Scheffler. So let's start with Scottie Scheffler. I'm just going to give you a stat here. This is how good this guy is right now. Currently, it's minus 1,100 that Scottie Scheffler is going to make the top 20. That means it's almost definite in terms of the betting odds and the probability that Scottie Scheffler is going to be in contention here at the 2024 Olympics at Le Golf National. Now, I'm picking personally Xander Schauffele. Now, we know that the major medal double has never been done before, but I don't think there's any reason that Xander Schauffele can't get that done. In his 7 consecutive top 10, he's had 7 consecutive top 10 finishes since May. That means he's been red hot. The one thing you could argue is, hey, is there going to be a major hangover? Remember, this guy just won the British Open. So is there going to be a little bit of a hangover where, you know, you're celebrating? We know that Xander likes to enjoy cigars. Well, actually, there was a report out from Scottie Scheffler about Xander Schauffele, and he said, hey, I saw this guy. He was one of the first people on the course at Le Golf National getting his practice rounds in, and it almost seems like he lost the British Open by 1 stroke. That was the motivation that he was taking out there in terms of his practice round. So I actually think he's taking this extremely seriously. A medal would be huge for him, and he's having a red-hot year already. So I think Xander Schauffele is definitely in play for that major medal double.
All right, major medal double, something for fans to keep their eye on and root for as they're watching golf here in the Olympics. Last thing for me, Curran, because you talked about it, 60 golfers in the field. We talked about the favorites here, but as you know, fans like to get behind some dark horses, right? And there are always some dark horse candidates to medal. Which golfers that are not favorites are you keeping your eye on throughout this weekend in Paris?
So here's a couple of golfers that I'm keeping my eye on at the 2024 Olympics in Paris, Le Golf National. Now, this isn't necessarily a dark horse. This is just not maybe the top 3 players. So one, of course, is Jon Rahm, right? This is the former #1 player in the world. We know that Jon Rahm switched over to LIV Tour, so he's got a little chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove something. He actually just came off of a win on the LIV Tour, so he just won last week, so he's red hot. He's proudly representing Spain. No matter what happens, a golf tournament with Jon Rahm, you know that we're going to hear from him in some way. And so I absolutely think Jon Rahm is definitely in play here. Another player, this is one of the best players that on this year on tour, on the PGA Tour, that hasn't won, and that's Collin Morikawa. He's been absolutely red hot, and he's only 27 years old. He's already got 2 majors under his belt, so he's had success before, but I'm very confident in Collin Morikawa's abilities. Actually, of everyone in the field over their last 36 rounds, only Scottie Scheffler and Xander Schauffele have scored better than Collin Morikawa. So that's everything you need to know there. Now, one more. You asked for a dark horse, Dexter, and I'm going to give you a dark horse. And this is probably a name that you and many other golf fans maybe have not heard of because he isn't as well known. And the actual rankings for this player are plus 8,000. The reason for that, this is Italy's Guido Migliozzi. Guido Migliozzi, representing Italy, is my dark horse pick for the 2024 Olympics, and I'll tell you why. In 2022, he started off a tournament. This was in Paris, and Guido Migliozzi started off a tournament. In the final day, he shot a 9-under par 62, so that's extremely impressive. And he actually had to birdie the final hole. Guido Migliozzi did. That birdie was on the most difficult hole on the European Tour. He did that birdie to win. Okay, so self-belief is obviously very important. Having the ability to come from behind like that in a big moment is very important. Guido Migliozzi was able to do that. Now, Dexter, do you know why that win was even more special in 2022?
Tell me, yeah.
That win took place at Le Golf National, the site of this Olympics. So Guido Migliozzi has actually done something that Xander Schauffele, Scottie Scheffler have not done before, and that is have a win at this golf course at Le Golf National. So yes, not as well known, making his name from Italy, but he's won at this course before, and therefore my dark horse pick for the 2024 Olympics in Paris is Guido Migliozzi.
Guido Migliozzi, remember the name, played at the course before, shot, had a great shooting day.
Won at the course before.
Won at the course before, had to get a birdie to shoot, was it 9 under?
62.
62.
Yeah.
So you got to love that there. All right, that's a really good dark horse. Should be a fun one for the golf fans out there, watching Olympics golf. Should be a really fun one at Paris. Le Golf National. I wish we were out there to see the beautiful course, because everything looks nice out there in Paris. Everything.
No. Dexter, we got to take a trip, man. Let's go.
We got to do it. Next Olympics, we got to be out there on the course, covering it. Maybe.
LA, me and you were there.
Done. Got to make it happen. That is my guy, Curran Bhatia, golf enthusiast. Check him out on Ask the Experts with Curran Bhatia. Curran, always a pleasure talking some golf. We've talked a lot of golf throughout the year. We got to talk some Olympic golf, so thank you.
Absolutely, Dexter. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.